Hello, Dividend executives. We are back at it again. Midweek, we want to talk about some of the purchases that were made last week, what differences they made on the account, and how our March income is looking as we get towards the end of the month here. So let's jump right into it. If you're new here, every single week I go over the Purple Brick app, which gives me a nice overview of how my dividends look for the entire year on both a monthly, hourly, quarterly, and annual basis, right? So we like to jump into that. We like to track our numbers because that is how we see our progress and that is how we keep pushing forward. So every single week I add at least $100 to the account, and my goal in the end is to make $100 a month in pure dividend income. And we're doing that a lot through our monthly dividend stocks. We do have a couple quarterly in there as well. And as the account continues to grow, we'll diversify even more. But as of right now, we are pushing hard to get to that $100 a month. As of right now, you can see we are about 44 cents a day and about $13.53 a month if we were to look into the future. This tries to take the dividends that are paid now, and it does calculation throughout the rest of the year on what it would look like if we were paid the exact same dividend. So it may fluctuate a little bit, but it gives us a pretty good estimate of how things look in the future. So if we break it down a little bit, we have $2,400 in the account. Last week we went pretty crazy. We added 625 to the account. We added 400 live on the last video, and we added 225 throughout the week, and we went over all of that. So we wanted to get some extra purchases in before the end of the month because we are right at the end of March. So we are just continuing to add to the account, and we wanted to get some ex-dividend dates hit. So if we look at our biggest positions in the account, as we know, SCHD, that is the main backbone to the account. That is one of my favorite dividend-paying ETFs, and that'll probably be one of my biggest positions going forward until I see something that changes. So as of right now, we have $542 in SCHD, $271 in JEPI, $269 in VTI, $254 in O, $254 in JEPQ. That's funny, same amount. $160 in AGNC. Stag, we got $144. Main, we got $126. Glad, we got $122. PSEC, $111. Devo, $102. That is a new one added to the account, and we can go over that a little bit. And then SPHD, also a new one to the account, and that's $77. So those two new ones to the account. Let's jump in and let's look at those a little bit. So if we look at the dividend yield, we're at 4.86% on Devo, and SPHD 4.39%. SPHD pays every single month, so that's a nice monthly payer we added, and so does Devo. Yield on cost. This is just the cost basis that I was assigned. And yeah, so that's how we can look a little bit at how I have this diversified, how much money I have in each individual stock. And then this obviously gives us a yield on cost breakdown, the total dividend yield, and the dividend income. The dividend yield is at 6.68% overall throughout the 12 holdings. It does say 13, but it's counting cash as one of the positions. And that's pretty high. I'm sure that'll drop over time as we continue to add bigger ETFs. But yeah, pretty happy with the account so far. These are the biggest pieces of the pie: the JEPQ, O, VTI, JEPI, and SCHD. And these are the biggest holdings. So let's jump back to the first tab here. This gives us just a breakdown of how much we make on a year. Our annual payment payer, the biggest one is JEPQ and JEPI. Those are our monthly dividend payers, and again, they are off of the NASDAQ 100 and the S&P 500, and it's a covered call fund. So they're generating money through selling options, and the premium is paid back to you in a form of a dividend. So those are going to be high dividend paying funds. We are going to stack those shares as hard as we can going forward because we do want to get the dividend up. And like I said, later on, we might bring those down a little bit. But I would love to see both of those at 100 shares each. I think that'd be a pretty good goal, and I think it's attainable. Let's see. Yeah, so you can see just as we go down, obviously the less money, the less yield we have on an annual basis. But SPHD and Devo there at the bottom with being new to the account. So I'm going to continue to add to these every single week. Bought some stocks this week, and I'll continue to buy more on Friday on the next video. If we look into March, this one's saying 1763. It's a little bit off. The hard part about this is, let's say you get paid on the 6th of March for JEPQ. It says you get paid $249, But in reality, what happens is as you continue to buy funds throughout the month, it keeps adding on to it. So it gets a little bit off in that sense because we actually weren't paid that much from JebQ. So that's okay though. Going forward, it's really accurate. But as you buy stocks, the month of the ex-dividend date's already passed, it doesn't account for that. So hopefully that can be a feature that they fix in the future. But this gives you like a brief overview of all the ones this month, but what we're really excited about is next month, right? Because we know that everything that we own as of right now is going to pay us next month. The one thing that is different from April and March is those quarterly dividend payers like SCHD. If we scroll back here, SCHD paid, $4.53 or so. That will not be included in that because that is a quarterly dividend payer. So that will be paid down in June. So you can see there, it's already showing up for June. So let's go back to April. April right now we're forecasted at $11.47. For March, we actually made $8.89. So if you want to look at a month-to-month basis increase, we went from 81 cents in February to $8.89 in March. Absolutely massive moves. And the great part is that both of those, the 81 cents and the $8.89 was reinvested automatically because I do have drip enabled. And so it throws that buying power. I mean, that's almost $10 of buying power just straight back into my stocks, and I didn't have to lift a single finger for it. So really excited about that. You can see the dividends really starting to stack up here. The first week is a little bit light. Second week, we get a little bit more coming in. Third week and fourth week. So the dividends just continue to come in. They will continue to come in every single month. And as we add more money, they're going to get bigger. So we got JebQ coming in for next month at $2.49. Let's look at the ex-dividend date. So we have to own or add shares before March 31st in order to get this. So we definitely want to put this on the radar, and we want to get some purchases. So I'll probably make some purchases either today or tomorrow so that I can get some income booked for March, for April. Same with JEPI. It's going to be the same ex-dividend date. AGNC March 30th, so that purchases has to come in today. And then Maine, April 5th. So we have some time in there. So really those first three are the ones we want to add funds to if we want to get paid out for April. And then we just want to keep an eye on those ex-dividend dates as we continue to add funds to the account. And we will keep building this account. So that is the synopsis. That's where we're at for the account. We went from $122 to $162.50 in 1 week's time. So we added, $40 to the account, just under $40 to the account off of last week's $625. So you can see how quickly it happens. I mean, I add $625 and boom, I'm projected to make, 40 off of dividend incomes right off of that, and that'll go for perpetuity, so into the future. So we love to see that. This is the synopsis for the week. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I appreciate all the comments, support, and likes on the videos. It keeps me motivated to continue adding money to this account. Again, I add money every single Monday, and I try to add money throughout the week. We are on a road to get this done in 2023, so I'm gonna need to add probably another $6,000 to $8,000 in the next 7 months. So we are going to be at it heavy, and we are excited to hit these goals. So we'll see you later. Happy investing, everybody.